Good morning. Welcome to the show, Randy's Corner, and I'm your host, Randy Clark. And I got a couple announcements to make, and then we're going to talk to my special guest, Dr. Jonathan Douglas. And we're going to be talking pickleball this morning. I guess you can see my pickleball shirt. This is just one of many I got. Love this game, but right now, Sunshine Saturday, what a huge success. I talked to Leah Allen, and she told me she estimated around 3,500 people came through Saturday, so it was a big success. Great organization. We love the ARC here in Sylacauga. Okay, happy Mother's Day to all you ladies and mothers out there. Hope you enjoyed your day Sunday, and we want to wish you a happy Mother's Day all year long. With Crazy Days is coming up this coming Saturday. It's going to be out here all over town. You can't miss it anywhere. But the big thing is going to be at the parking lot beside First Bank of Alabama on Norton. And they're going to have all kind of touchy trucks. I think the hours are from 10 to 2. It's going to be a great time. It's Small Business Month, and all the businesses will be open, and they're going to have some things out on the sidewalk. It's going to be a great time. If you hadn't had a chance to watch the video, last week I had Laura Strickland on. She's the executive director of the Chamber of Commerce, and you can go back and watch that, and she tells us all about Crazy Days. Okay, one more announcement. Farm Links, Purcell Farms, May the 26th, which is next Saturday. They are having a Beach Boys tribute band. And it's going to bring the Beach Boys to the Farm Links. Contact Farm Links for tickets, and that number is 256-208-7600. Good vibrations. Don't worry, baby. I get around. California girls. Jonathan, we're going to chime in. Will you help me out singing?
I refuse.
Oh, we're not going to sing it?
I'm not going to sing
it. Okay.
No,
so next Saturday, get your tickets now. Get them early, because that's going on at Farm Links next weekend. It's a Beach Boys tribute band. Okay. Now, without further ado, my special guest this morning, Dr. Jonathan Douglas, and we're talking pickleball.
We're talking pickleball.
We love some pickleball here in Sylacauga. Its sport is growing like crazy. I never imagined it when we started last February. I think 9 of us started, and it's unbelievable. We have over 250 people on our pickleball
it's like
club.
350 now, I think.
Lots of folks are interested now, which is a good thing.
It is great.
For those viewers that don't know what pickleball is, Jonathan, will you kind of explain what pickleball is?
So pickleball started in 1965, Washington State, and the story goes that these people had a very small kind of court available, and they just kind of made up some kind of game. There's a myth that it was named after their dog Pickles, which is actually not true, supposedly. It's something to do with a yachting kind of a term, and how a pickle crew is a crew that's like the secondary. You just kind of grab people that aren't really the best fit. And so they grabbed equipment that wasn't the best fit, and so it became pickleball. The name, I think, kind of hurts us in some ways. People kind of laugh at it, but it doesn't really matter. It's a short court tennis kind of, it's like ping pong and tennis and a little bit of volleyball kind of scoring combined. But the beauty of it is that if we're going to teach someone to play tennis, it takes sometimes years before you're really a good tennis player, competent tennis player. Usually at about a month, we see people just blossom in pickleball.
Right.
And it's accessible to everyone. We have 4-year-olds out there, and we have 70-something-year-olds out
Right.
there. And they're interacting together, and they can play together, and that's just unheard of in other sports. That's the thing I love about it.
Right. And we can't go without talking about Logan, our wheelchair pickleball player. He's a good guy. He's learning pickleball, and he amazed me last night how much better he's getting.
So Logan, about 6 weeks ago, I guess, said that he really wanted to try this pickleball thing. And boy, he came out and he is on fire. He's out there 2 hours a day, and he's watching videos and he's sending me videos. He has started his own group, Central Alabama Wheelchair Group. And so he's really trying hard. He's calling rehab facilities. He's trying to find people who have lost their ability to play sports and get them into a sport because he's on fire about this. And it's so accessible. There's no way it could not be successful with his kind of passion for it.
Such a good guy, too.
Yeah, he's doing great. He's got the right intentions. He just wants it to be something accessible to everyone. He knows that people aren't going to be amazing players. It doesn't matter. None of us really care about that. It's just about getting out and socializing and having a community and a purpose.
Right. Okay. Before we get to talking about what you got going on in Childersburg, tell us a little bit about the Sylacauga Pickleball Club. So let's talk about the tournament that we just had.
That's what I was going to say. And so we did a tournament last year with Heritage South that was hugely successful, way more than we thought. We didn't even know what we were doing, to tell you the truth. We just kind of set it up and said, let's just see how this thing rolls.
We learned from it.
Oh, we learned so much. And then I went down to a tournament in Gulf Shores, and I learned a lot watching them. I mean, this was like 1,000 people kind of a tournament, and I saw how it ran, and we fixed a lot of the things I didn't like about that. But the one that we did last time was dialed in. We did a round robin, everybody. The problem with tournaments sometimes is that you'll be a not great team and you'll play a great team and you'll get eliminated early, and it's kind of discouraging. So we've set it up where it's going to be a smaller number of teams, but you do a round robin, you get to play everybody, and you get to see so many different styles and so many different games, and that's the way you get better, is that volume of play. And we make it just accessible to everyone. We had pure beginners that came out there, and oh my gosh, they had the best time, and they love it now.
Right.
Molly told me it was like the best day of her life. She won, a third, second, and a first or something. She had never won an award at anything. And so it's just a lot of joy, and that's what it's really about. It doesn't matter the results at the end of the day. It's these people love being out there, and they are getting to meet people they'd never meet and like them and interact with them.
We had 60 or 70 players in the tournament, but tell the viewers how many fans we had come out there and watched
We
it.
think there were over 200 people that came out, and that whole court system was just completely occupied. We had a skills kind of event, and thank you again to Heritage South, because they've really supported this, and it supports charity. We've raised, I don't know, like $8,000 or something with these tournaments for charity. That's a lot of money, and a lot of people being helped just because we like to go out and hit balls, and people support it.
And what I really want people to take in, you talking about that money that's produced off these tournaments, that money goes right back into our community.
It goes right back in the community.
These, you know, we have glow-in-the-dark tournaments in Childersburg where Coosa Pines sponsors those. They put the money right back in the community.
They sure do.
And so does Heritage South.
They sure do.
It's great, right?
It is.
So, tell them what we got going on Tuesday nights, or anybody wants to come out.
Tuesday nights from 6 to 7, we do free lessons, and it's all volunteer, just to get people integrated to the game. And so if you're a beginner, you can come. We have a lot of kids that participate with that and love it, but also adults can come and just learn the basics. And then we have 4 courts that are lined off for pickleball, and we're generally pretty full. And when you go to some places, they're kind of snobbish about pickleball. We try not to be that way. We have 1 court that's for the better players. And so beginners aren't going to go over there and play. But otherwise, people are really happy to bring you in and teach you, and just genuinely happy to have you there and want you to be a part of it.
We got a lot of people that's willing to help.
Oh my God.
Great volunteers.
I really don't know anybody that's not willing to help.
Now, you know, I've had a couple of people that told me they've been intimidated about coming.
Sure.
Don't be intimidated about coming out there and playing pickleball with us on Tuesday night. We have 6 courts, and the way we have our court set up, the very first court is to somebody that's, we'll say, never even seen a pickleball or a paddle before.
That's correct.
And then the second court is after you get a little advance from the introduction to pickleball, you get a little better. And then the third court, we're able to set you up and play a game, but we're not going to stick you down there with some people that's been playing for a couple of years. No. That's not going to happen here in Sylacauga or Childersburg.
It's not going to happen. And actually, we've got expansion potential also, because of the tournament. We figured out that we could set up portable nets, and we could actually have 8 courts on that 4-court system. And I've got donations, people that are willing to donate and people have already donated for us to get nets. And so I've got them coming in. So as we expand this summer, which I expect we're going to blow out those 4 courts, we really are going to start setting up 8 courts. And it's going to be so much more accessible for people. I can't believe the people that are calling me saying, hey, I see the pickleball thing. I want to donate this. I want to donate that. It just happens all the time. And so it's great. We love it.
All right. Now, We talked about what's going on in Sylacauga. In Sylacauga, we play outside.
Outside.
And in the future, we might be playing outside in Childersburg. But right now, Brad Logan, the director of the Childersburg Parks and Recs, he lets us play inside 3 nights a week. And we've had one tournament up there, and we got another one coming up.
That's right. So we had a glow-in-the-dark tournament, which is chaos, and it's fun. I mean, it's kids face painting, and I mean, it was just a joy. Yeah. People are still talking. I still hear every week somebody says, man, I wish I'd participated. I heard about it. It's so much fun. So we got that coming up in July.
Right.
And Brad, they really don't have racket sports in Childersburg. And so he set up a facility where we can do that. And so we're transitioning from that tournament and the amazing growth that's happened in Childersburg. We're going to start having some kids camps that started last night, actually. And we're going to try to create a system where Childersburg has racket sports.
Right, right. So let's talk about what you got going on with the camp. It started, like you say, last night, and you had a pretty good turnout.
We had a great turnout. We're actually, we're
talk about what all y'all doing, Jonathan.
So we thought 20 is the max kids we can accept into this thing, and we've got 12 that are there, and I mean 12 is a lot of kids after you see them out there. But I've got assistants who have volunteered to help, and last night we went through the very boring logistics, but the kids are going to learn how to warm up correctly. They're going to learn how to do agility footwork, which is a huge part of any sport, so we're just translating this to everything. They're going to learn how to hit tennis balls and know basics of tennis, and they're going to know basics of pickleball. This is all we're doing. But really, that's what they think we're doing. But the main thing we're doing is bringing a bunch of kids together and making them love being active and being on court, because I loved being on court, and that was a huge part of my childhood. I just want them to have something they love in some kind of sport. They're also learning how to work with teammates and be nice to others and help others who need a helping hand. And so they think they're just learning sports, but really what I want them to learn is how to interact with others in a wonderful way, because that's the only way you build community. Wow. They learned how to shake hands last night, and we worked on that for about 5 minutes, introducing yourself, looking somebody in the eye, saying your name. And these are little things, but they're little things that build up to them being better teammates in the future and better citizens in the future.
Right.
So we love it. But Monday and Thursday nights, and I guess we got a few more spaces potentially for kids, but those kids are going to be worn slap out, number one. And number two, they're going to really love hitting balls, and they're going to make a bunch of friends where they can call them and say, hey, I'd like to go out and hit balls. And then we can start filling up the courts again. Right. And that's really the goal. We want to see full courts.
Right. You know, my goal ever since I started playing pickleball, my goal is to get us some pickleball courts.
I know it.
Still my goal.
I know it.
And it's going to happen.
There's not a week that goes by that I do not talk to someone who is working on it.
Right.
That's all I can say. It's going to happen. Yes.
I guess you might say the big word is win. Of course, it's always win, but that's okay too. You know, one thing that we're doing right now that we wasn't doing a year ago was talking about it. Now everybody's talking about it.
We're beyond that. I mean, we've got people that have plans for this.
Right.
And so it's going to happen, and whoever gets the courts first is really going to own that kind of situation, because everybody's going to gravitate to these real courts.
Right. So, don't forget Jonathan's Clinic. It's still got a couple of spots open. And who do they get in touch with?
Contact Childersburg Parks and Rec, and then tell them you'd like to be a part of it, and we'd be happy to have you.
Or yourself at Broadway Spinal Care?
That's correct. My cell phone, 360-903-0590. If you send me a text, I'll tell you about it.
There you go. Jonathan's got it going on in Childersburg. And I'd like to tell you one more thing before we go this morning. I'm introducing, that is my class. Jonathan is the premier instructor, but I am introducing pickleball to the senior center. Ask anybody from 55 and older. That's coming up this Thursday morning at 10 o'clock. And did we cover it all?
I think we got it all.
Thank you so much for coming in. Dr. Jonathan Douglas, Broadway Spinal Care. We'll see you next week.